My hair is poofy today. Why? Hey everybody, this week I am hoping to be organized. Specifically, I'm hoping to be organized when it comes to tracking my cycle, checking for ovulation days, things like that. I have tried a couple different methods. Obviously the easiest way is pay attention to your body. There's a lot of things that you may not notice, like you start getting headaches, or you start getting stomach cramps, or just feeling tired, fatigued, things like that that you might not really have noticed before, but when you're keeping track of it every day, you might notice that you get a backache the day you ovulate or the day after you've ovulated, just randomly, or you might get a headache, you might feel a little flick. So I wanted to try and keep track of my cycle a little bit better. The first I tried was just on the calendar that I had in our bedroom. I would just sort of mark off our cycle days, I'd mark off when we had intercourse. That was really it, to be honest, to start off. That was kind of all I did. Then I started on my phone. I used to just track, again, intercourse. I would track when my period was here. I started tracking my BBT, which if you look at last week's video, you know what that is. It's your basal body temperature, and that can help get an idea of when you're ovulating. And so I would just write that on my phone calendar every morning. It was working, but I kind of wanted to track more, and I was looking for different ways. So I actually started using a phone app. There are a bunch of different apps out there for tracking your cycle. I have used a couple. The one I'm going to talk about today is the one that I found to be the best. I like it the best. I like how user-friendly it is. I like the layout of it, just its aesthetics. I really like it. So I personally have been using this one. I have friends who use Fertility Friend. I did try that one for a while as well. I'll leave links to some of the different apps as well below. But before we get started, I just want you to know that this is not a sponsored video. This is just me showing you an app that I really like that helps me stay organized. It might not work for everybody. You might not like the looks of it or how it works, but it's not sponsored. It's just me kind of reviewing the app for you so you can see it. So I'm going to show you Ovia, as you saw there. It's by Ovulation. Now this is the one I really like. First of all, I like this. So it tells you what your fertility score is based on your cycle day and any symptoms or things that you have put in. So I'm actually currently in my fertile window right now. And it does also tell you when is a good time to start doing your pregnancy test if you are having symptoms or anything like that. If you swipe this way, it kind of shows you when you are most fertile. Usually the highest is when you are expected to ovulate. The second thing I like about this app is that it just also gives you fun little things. Like it gives you historical facts about like fertility or ovulation, stuff like that. Again, signs you might be ovulating, like little news articles. There are some ads, but it's okay. Tips and tricks, recipes even that are supposed to help kind of keep you healthy. Vocabulary, tricks, tips, all that sort of stuff is all in there. So if you hit the little calendar up at the top here, I'm just going to go back to a month because you guys don't need to see my personal info per se. So I'll just go back to February before I'd actually started using this app. Say, for example, you click on any day. So let's just say 18th. So you'll see down here there's a whole bunch of things down at the bottom there. So if you hit edit, you can go in. And so it's got a whole list of things that you can put in to help track. So first, period, nothing, spotting, or period. Now if you actually hit period, it will ask you light, medium, or heavy. It also tracks all your emotions and how you were sort of feeling that day. Any symptoms, and they break it down, overall if you were sick or anything like that, head and neck, chest and back, stomach and gastrointestinal, pelvic area, arms and legs, sleep and lifestyle. If you've had intercourse, yes or no. If you are tracking your cervical mucus or your cervical fluid, which is the same thing, you can say what it looked like, what it felt like, if you decide to do that. Your cervical position, so whereabout is, if it's low, medium, or high, if it's soft, medium, or firm, how the opening is, whether you took an ovulation test or not, whether you took a pregnancy test or not. You can fill in your BBT, you can fill in your blood pressure, when you went to sleep, because sleep is another very important thing when you are trying to conceive. What your weight is. You can even track your nutrition, so how many servings of water you had, fruits and veggies, grains, dairy, protein, sweets and treats, caffeine, and alcohol. See, it's nice. It knows sometimes you need treats. So whether you took your vitamins or not, if you're tracking, you can also track your activity, what you did, workouts that you did, how many steps you took, any medications you're on, and any other extra notes that you feel sort of might be important. So that I found very detailed. Half of this stuff I didn't know that I was supposed to be even tracking before this app. So if you go to the side and you swipe here, you can pay for other materials. Now it also has a fertility chart, which is kind of neat, and it starts to track any trends or anything like that that you have. So for example, this is when I hadn't really started using it yet, so I wasn't really filling it in fully. This yellow line here is your fertility score. Any hearts that show up is intercourse that you've had. So this line here, this pink dotted line, that is your BBT. The green, that is your fertile window. So the lighter the F along the bottom is the lower your fertility score, the darker is your highest. So for example, in this chart, you probably ovulated sometime on the 29th because again, your fertility score goes down after you have ovulated. And then again, in regular phase, and then you get your wonderful ant flow during the red there. Cycle insights. This here shows you your kind of month in a view. So for example, April 14th is when my last cycle started. It was day 1. My cycle length is 26 days, and I said 28 days because that's what it used to be. My period length is 4 days. I said 5 days. Luteal phase is 12 days, 13. I didn't actually put that in. That's just info I got from the first. How much you're doing the baby dance. Ovulation day. So I ovulate most likely actually right around cycle day 14. And then indigestion and tender breasts are 2 very common symptoms that I have. So it shows you kind of all that. When you do get pregnant, there is another app, Ovia Pregnancy, that you can switch over so you can kind of learn about the stages of where you are during your pregnancy. At first, it's kind of confusing to get around and figure out where everything is, but once you know where everything is, it's very clean, it's very pleasing to the eyes, I find. Even when you scroll up, it gives you the date and it tells you what your cycle day is there. I don't know if you can see that there up at the top. Alright, so that is Ovia by Ovuline. That is the app that I am using right now. It is available on iOS as well as Android in the Google Play Store. Again, every person tracks differently. Everybody has different ways of organizing, but for me personally right now, that is the way that is working. Cat. And there's nothing wrong with that. So track it the way that you like, track it the way that's the easiest for you to understand, and the least time consuming for you. In the morning, I fill out half the information, and at night I fill the other half depending on my day has gone. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. So next week, not sure what the topic will be about yet. Might do another TTC video, might not. Haven't decided yet. But if you did like the video, feel free to leave a comment, like it, subscribe. So everybody have a good week, and we'll see you next Thursday. Bye.